update on my '07 Cadillac Escalade. I've gotten a few messages and some comments on the last video I did. It's been a little while. I've changed a few things since then. Nothing too major, just a bunch of little minor updates. Obviously I changed the wheels. Stance just a little bit. Still not quite where I want it, but I got two really good sets of tires on the wheels that I have now, so I don't really want to change them out until this time. So I've actually lowered the rear another inch, so I'm at 3.5 now. The drop coils that I had in the back were a little soft. The longer I drove with it, the more I realized it, and wasn't ideal. So I actually took a set of factory coils and trimmed them, test fitted to get it where I wanted it to be. It sits exactly 3.5 now. A little bit stiffer ride in the rear, but not bouncy in any way. It actually rides really nice. Like I said, I still want to go lower. The ideal drop for this thing would be like 4.5, 5.5. Like I want to go another inch in the front and probably another ½ inch in the rear. Try to get that rake back slightly. But I'm pretty happy with the stance right now and the way it rides. All the other little minor stuff, I tinted the windshield, 50% ceramic. Looks really good from the outside, but it's not real dark from inside. It just kind of ties in the whole look. I really like the way it turned out. Swapped off to a grill from a 13, which is really not much different at all. Mine had a big rock chip in it and was missing part of the paint, so I needed to do something, and I really didn't want to try and match this color again. But on my '07, there was a black surround behind here, and I never really noticed it until I went to this grill, but I think this grill looks a lot cleaner on the front end. I don't remember if I had the LEDs swapped on the last video I did, but I upgraded all my exterior lights to LED, like 194s in the lights, puddle lamps in the mirrors and everything. Makes a big difference at night when you're going to unlock it and everything. And just everything kind of flows together. It looks pretty good. Same exhaust as before. I think I might have changed the tip since then. I just kind of rerouted, same tip, but I rerouted it to a better location. I didn't like the way the first guy did it. It just kind of bothered me, the area he had it coming out. So this time it's angled more towards the side of the body, which I prefer. Looks a lot cleaner than how it was before. Same carbon TR muffler, which I love the way it sounds on the 6.2. I really still want to go with long tubes and full exhaust and everything at some point, but right now it's just daily driver, trying not to go too crazy with it. As far as the rear end, I don't think I've really changed anything besides I added that little LSX badge, which was a test thing. 3D printed some badges and wanted to see how they were going to hold up. But I did, and it's filthy right now, but I did remove the plastic handle grab thing that goes right here. I think it just cleans up the rear end a lot. Just makes it subtle mod, but makes it look a lot better, in my opinion. I still have not found a hitch cover in the right color to go on here. I got one painted and it didn't match, and I can't put it on there because it bothers me. So I'm still on the hunt for one of those. Debated taking the roof rack off for a while. I do really like the Escalade roof rack, and it won't go anywhere. If I decide to take it off, it'll be just to change it up for a while, then I'll put it back on. But it's something that's crossed my mind a few times, and it will more than likely happen pretty soon. Just to see. I don't know. I really like it on there, but like I said, I see someone without it and it looks really clean and almost makes it look lower. So it's kind of one of those things. It'll probably eventually happen, but I really like the stance of this thing now, man. It sits really nice. Like I said, it rides good, and I went with these are OEM 15 and up Escalade wheels with the stock 285/45 22s on them. I like these wheels a lot. I had a set of these on my '08 Vortec Max several years ago, and I've always kind of wanted another set. Once I got this Escalade, it was like one wheel that I wanted to have eventually. The other set, which the CB73s, those were a set that I had really wanted for a long time too. Got a really good deal on those, and I buy and sell and trade wheels quite a bit, so I end up with some different stuff. But I actually traded those for a set of billet specialties 24x10 three-piece billets. Don't have them on currently, just with the weather and everything, and then I really wanted to, you know, kind of detail them, clean them up real good. I'll try to include maybe a picture of those in this video. But they're actually a one-of-one design. It's the only set out there ever made in a 6-load. So they make the wheel, it's called the Billet Specialties Fury 5 on like the 5-load cars, hot rods and everything. Well, sometime back in around 2017, the owner of Billet Specialties wanted to make a set for his own ride and thought about offering them in 6-load. So they did a prototype, which is the 6-load set that I have. He ran them for a little while, sold them to a friend. They changed hands a few times and ended up, you know, about an hour and a half for me. Talked to the guy. He really didn't want a lot for them, but I offered him a trade on my wheels, and you know, they worked out for him because he needed to get the 24s out of the way and put some 22s on his van, of all things. But yeah, those wheels are really, really cool. I don't foresee myself ever selling them, just because of, you know, kind of what they are. One of one, you know, it's different. I get a lot of compliments on them, a lot of questions about them, but that's probably a set I'll never sell, unless it's like I trade them for something really crazy, maybe some intros or something one day. But I've been dying to put them back on, and I probably will before it gets nice weather again. Even though we don't have crazy weather here, still, you know, I don't want to be cleaning them all the time. They are, like I said, 3-piece. The centers are brushed and clear coated, and then the lips are chromed. So there's some little pitting here and there, nothing too terrible. I will eventually probably rehoop them, or maybe just get the hoops stripped and like powder coated with chrome powder coat, or I want them to have that polished look to them. But I may just go back with chrome, depending on, you know, the availability and how much it's going to cost and everything. But man, pretty much everything else is about the same. No performance mods yet. Really want to get it tuned, but I mean, these 6.2s have so much potential. The torque is crazy, and it's the way it drives is impressive compared to a lot of things I've driven. You know, I think tuning it will really wake it up a lot. It'll be a while before I do any, you know, crazy engine mods or anything. I really, you know, like I said before, cam and everything is definitely in the plans. This is not one I plan on getting rid of anytime soon, and if I do, it'll only be to go with like a newer Escalade, or something similar, you know. But the 6.2 is really in the little things you get with the Escalade. Not that it's any better than a Tahoe or Denali or anything. I'm not one of those guys, but I do like the little changes that you get when you go up to an Escalade, and the interior, just the way it's set up, and of course the 6.2. You know, this one is 2-wheel drive, but I wouldn't have mind getting an all-wheel drive, because seeing some of these all-wheel drives as low as like 4.6 with no issues was kind of a thing that made me realize that it wouldn't be so rough to have. I mean, I've had lowered 4-wheel drive before, and I really liked it, but I know that on one of these I'll never go really low. Kind of, you know, 4.6 would be the max for one of these on a daily for me. My regular cab Sierra is 6.8 and plenty low enough to be low and have fun. So this will be just, you know, my daily / family ride kind of thing. But I do want to, you know, eventually just wake it up. I'm not trying to be fast. I'm not trying to race anybody. I mean, I just want it to be fun. I'm really trying to build my own Escalade-v. What it would be like in, you know, 07 or whatever. But you know, this time of year, as the funds allow, I'm just doing a little bit by little bit. Eventually cam, LSA blower, full exhaust. You know, I would prefer not to put a converter in it if possible. I really don't want to mess with the transom with these 6 LEDs. Is already, you know, feel like you're on borrowed time anyway. So, but eventually I'm sure I'd have to step into something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Big brake upgrade is another thing I think I talked about before. I really want to do. I've found the calipers and rotors and everything I need. It's just, you know, one thing at a time. So one of these days I'll get a hold of some of those and get those put on here. I'm probably at that point going to go with like the Cadillac Performance Yellow on my rotors, or my calipers, sorry. I really like that color and the way it contrasts with the white. I wanted something different. These here now, it's probably hard to see, but I went with a kind of a bronze goldish color, because you know, everybody does red or blue or, you know, whatever. Not that that looks bad, I mean, it looks great, but I just wanted to be a little different. And let's see if I can get in here where you can see it a little bit. Yeah, but it's kind of a nice little contrasting color to the, well, same color as the badge on the back, actually. That'd be a little easier to see. I'd like to start doing more updates on this thing instead of waiting until there's so much to talk about. But I am going to be probably making some kind of a list or website where I can sell some of those badges. They turned out pretty good. Like I said, I got a 3D printer and I was just playing around with it, and I printed a bunch of those badges in different sizes, keychains and whatever else, but I didn't know how they would actually hold up as far as a emblem goes. So, you know, I like this thing V badge with no emblems on it, but I decided to put that on there, and I figured if I was going to do it, I might as well, you know, make it blend in with the other colors I got going on. So that's what that is all about. Everything else, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way it's turning out. Get a lot of compliments on it. It's just different to see something like that in our area. There's not a lot of, you know, lowered SUVs or lower trucks, period. Although they are, you know, the scene is growing and there's more now than there ever has been, but you don't see a lot of Escalades that are lowered. I got a buddy who's had a couple, and he's about the only other one that I know of. But you know, I tend to hold on to things and just keep going with them. So the only other thing I can think of that I've done since the last video was the mirrors. When I swapped the grill, I also got the mirrors off the 13 that I got that off of, and they have the full, it's hard to see, the full turn signals instead of the little dots, which to me is just a little subtle mod. Only I'm ever going to notice it, but I like the way it looks, and I think it looks a little cooler than the dots. But yeah, I hope y'all like this video, man. If y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm on all the socials, pretty much just by my name, and then, you know, of course, YouTube. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Like I said, I've been saying this, I'm gonna try to do better about it this year, but I want to post more. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. I have a full-time job, I have kids, I have a lot going on in my life, but it is fun to make a little content here and there and like get people's questions. I'm not a gatekeeper on like mods. I want to see other people, like I like seeing other people's stuff. I'm always down to help out any questions or anything like that. I post in a lot of the groups and I'm always answering questions when I get them, just because, you know, like I said, I want to see other people's what they decide to do. Everybody has their own take on what looks good, and that's cool, man. Not everybody's taste is the same, and it would be boring if there were. You know, I'd like to put my stuff out there, so if people have questions, they can ask me about it. I'm not, you know, pretending that I know everything, but I have experience doing some of these things. I've had, most of my vehicles have been lowered in some form or fashion. That's just what I like. Never been much into lifted stuff, but you know, I like to see what people do. So like I said, I'll try to post more. May start doing like some reels, some little short clips, or whatever YouTube calls it, YouTube shorts, I guess. Just for little things here and there. But I want to start doing like you know, some different updates, and like when I upgrade stuff on the Escalade, I'd like to make changes and post that stuff, but just limited time, I guess. But if y'all have any questions, like I said, reach out. I'll be happy to answer any questions and give any insight to different parts. I've used a lot of the different brands in some way or another, and kind of have an idea of what's better and what may not work as well. It's slow progress on this thing, I know, but like I said, I work a lot and I have a family, so this is kind of in my free time. I like to work on things. I'll probably do a video at one point on my truck. 2000 GMC Sierra. It's got a 5.3. It's cammed. I just put a built 460 in it not too long ago. It's got 14 gears. It's a fun little truck. It'll scoot. I mean, it's a blast to drive. But that's one of those. I would love to boost that one eventually. I really want to go turbo on that truck, but I also want it to be my son's first truck. He's young now. I mean, he's about to be 9, but it's something I want to start, us together, upgrading it to get it to how he would like to have it. But it's like 6.8 drop. I mean, it's a lot of the interior has been converted to power leather and everything, so it's a little different. A good friend of mine owned the truck for a long time, and I picked it up from him a couple of years ago and just been wrenching on it ever since. It was my daily driver for a while, and now it just kind of more of a toy than anything, because with the kids and everything, I don't have, can only take one person at a time with me. But I'll probably do a little video on that pretty soon, just to get something else out there. But yeah, any questions, y'all reach out and let me know, and I appreciate y'all watching.